Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, today we are looking at one of the absolute most incredible creatures on Earth. We're asking the big question, why are elephants so big? We're getting their animal superpowers explained. Now, you might think being a giant is just, a totally random fact of nature, but actually, it's a brilliant set of evolutionary survival superpowers. I'm so excited to show you exactly how this works, so grab your explorer hats and let's get started. Okay, let's dive right into this amazing mystery. Why did nature make elephants as big as a school bus? I mean, really think about it. Evolution designed these animals to be absolutely gigantic compared to the cars we drive or, well, the humans walking around in our neighborhoods. So what could possibly be the reason for such a massive size? Let's look at the clues nature has left us. Just think about the sheer scale for a second. If you stand a human next to a lion, well, the lion looks pretty big, right? But towering over both of them is the undeniable giant, the elephant. Compared to other land mammals, absolutely nothing matches their sheer, unbelievable size. They're literally the undeniable heavyweights of the land animal kingdom.
All right, Section 1. Supersize means super safety.
It really all comes down to the simple, powerful math of nature. Bigger size means fewer predators. Imagine you're a hungry lion. Are you going to attack a tiny antelope, or are you going to go after a creature the size of a moving building? No way, right? When you have a massive silhouette like an elephant, predators just naturally keep their distance. So while smaller animals are constantly getting chased around or having to hide, an elephant can just stand there calmly, completely protected by its own sheer size. It acts exactly like a built-in invisible shield out in the wild.
Moving on to Section 2, the ultimate plant-eating engine. Now, I want you to imagine a tummy that acts like a giant rumbling engine, but instead of running on gasoline like a car, it runs entirely on leaves, grass, and branches. To keep that giant engine running, we need to know a super fun science word: herbivore. That's an animal that eats only plants. It's basically like an elephant is eating a giant never-ending salad. An elephant's massive body, specifically its big gut, is built perfectly to process unbelievable amounts of these tough plants all day long. They absolutely need that giant space inside to digest and break down all those chewy leaves.
So, how much of that giant salad do they actually need to eat? Well, 150. That is 150 kilograms, over 330 pounds of food every single day. Just imagine piling up like 2 or 3 whole adult human beings. That is how much an elephant has to eat in plants just to fuel that big gut and keep their giant plant-eating engine running smoothly. It's wild.
Section 3. Built-in air conditioning.
Living in really hot places like the savannas of Africa and the forests of Asia means you've got to beat the hot sun. And when you're a giant, you naturally trap a lot of body heat. So here's how they cool down. Step 1. Hot blood flows straight from their giant bodies right into their enormous ears. Step 2. They flap those ears in the breeze. And then Step 3. The heat waves leave the ear, and the nice, cool blood flows right back into their body. It's literally a built-in cooling system, dropping their body temperature exactly like the AC in your house on a hot summer day.
Section 4. Big brains and bulldozer strength. Their massive size doesn't just keep them cool and safe, though. It also gives them unbelievable bulldozer-like muscle power and some seriously huge brain power. I mean, their giant bodies let them do incredible things. They can easily push down heavy trees just to reach the tastiest leaves at the very top. They can carry huge logs with their trunks, pushing their strength meters to the absolute max. But actually, it's not all just muscle. That giant skull allows them to support massive, complex brains, helping them to communicate, remember faraway water holes, and thrive in deep, loving family herds. They are every bit as smart as they are strong.
And because they're so smart and well protected, they get to live long, incredible lives. Starting as a baby, they're born straight into a loving, protective herd. Then, over decades, they're constantly growing and learning really complex skills from their mothers and grandmothers. Finally, reaching old age, living a long, wise life. Their large bodies actually support a very long lifespan. Because they're so safe from predators, those complex brains have decades and decades to learn important survival secrets alongside their family.
All right, Section 5. The heavy cost of size. Now, every awesome superpower in nature comes with a catch or a weakness. You simply don't get to be a giant for free. On one side, sure, they have amazing superpowers. They're safe from predators, they're super strong, and they have incredibly smart brains. But on the flip side, carrying around all that weight means they move very slowly. You're definitely not going to see an elephant winning a quick sprint against a cheetah. Plus, as we just learned, they need tons and tons of food. Their food requirement is constantly rising, meaning they pretty much have to spend almost all of their waking hours just eating.
So it all comes down to this. Elephants are big because it helps them survive, stay safe, and thrive. Evolution didn't just make them giant by accident. Being a giant is their ultimate survival blueprint. It's this carefully balanced equation that has allowed them to rule the animal kingdom for millions of years.
As we wrap up today's explainer, I have a fun question for you to think about. If you could have one elephant superpower, huge size, built-in AC, or bulldozer strength, which would you pick? Think about how you'd use it in your own daily life. Nature is just full of these brilliant, amazing designs, and the animal kingdom is just waiting for you to discover its secrets. Thanks so much for exploring with me, keep learning, and stay curious.